and what they see next absolutely traumatizes them still to this day. They look up at the eyes of the Jesus statue, and where the eyes are supposed to be, they're just bulging out like two big rocks. There's dry blood and fresh blood pouring out of the statue's face. Then if that wasn't enough, they hear this big boom and this crackle in the sky. They both look up at the sky, nothing. At this point, they're like, we're getting the F out of here, and they start sprinting to their car. Now, Ashley notices that her ex has some type of split personality disorder, because he could be the sweetest person in the world, and then he could also be absolutely terrible and spiteful and abusive even. She noticed that when he got angry, his eyes would get like pitch dark, not his color eyes, and he would just be so awful to her, especially when he would wake up in the morning. When he would wake up in the morning, he would become a different person. He would say things to her like, stop talking, shut up. She suffered physical, emotional, and verbal abuse over the years, which finally ended up in her leaving him after years of turmoil and abuse. Now, this kid had some very strange beliefs, because he believed that if he sold his soul, that he would be able to become rich and famous. He believed in this type of stuff. So he had no problem selling his soul to whoever he needed to in order to become successful. Now, she's not sure if this was because he liked to go down the Hollywood Illuminati rabbit hole, or if it was an influence of what was happening to him, or possibly both. Now, she said that he did suffer a lot of abuse as a child, and that this could be the reason why he was like this, and maybe why he even had an attachment, but she's not sure. Now, this part is insane, because he actually talks about how his dreams got progressively worse to the point where Hat Man was threatening him and their cats, and he was using a staple gun to torture him with it. Now, Hat Man would make him choose between him or their little girl cat, and in the dreams, he would choose himself. And as soon as he would do that, he would feel the pressure of the staple gun and the staples going into his eyeballs. He could physically feel this as if it were really happening in real life, and he couldn't wake up until the torture was over. There was no way for him to do it. Now, her boyfriend would eventually stop talking about this altogether, and every time she brought it up, he would not allow it. Like, he just wouldn't have it. I guess he was afraid, to her knowledge, that he didn't want to relapse on the dreams. So if he wasn't having the dreams, he didn't want to talk about it. If he was having the dreams, he didn't want to talk about it anymore. It was consuming his life. And when she finally left him, unfortunately, she started to have her own experiences. The first night he left around 3 a.m., she hears this loud bang on her door. And she goes and checks, there's no one there. She texts him, was that you? It was not him. Then she started having sleep paralysis incidences with Hat Man, and she couldn't move at all. And there were instances where she was laying there, unable to move, and she would hear someone say, "Let me in." And then that bang, which would finally break her